before the podcast starts, for everyone who can watch the video, I'm wearing Good Luck Babe earrings that I got from Raleigh Pride. You know, I just feel like it suits our topic. I don't remember how I started the last episode, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time for everyone that's listening to the podcast. I can guarantee you that every single intro is gonna be different. That's my bad. But hey, you guys, my name is Zakia Z, and today I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, you want to introduce yourself at all?
Hi, I'm Mickey. I'm her friend.
Good job. If you guys are from my channel, my YouTube channel, then you've seen Mickey before, probably, because they've been on there once. Twice, actually. Twice, yes. The video that did really well, though, was 17.
That, and then...
We were, watching a whole bunch of different stuff with Minnie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was on the same day.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yeah, Mickey's been on my channel before.
Yeah.
Never on the podcast, because there's only 2 episodes out, but, we're working on it, okay? So, today we're going to be reviewing The Boyfriend, which I have a little spill because, I wanted to get a little bit more professional. Nothing about my voice is professional, y'all. The Boyfriend is a Japanese reality dating show that brings together 9 men under one roof to explore love, connection, and self-discovery. Over the course of a month, the cast members live, work, and spend time together while navigating crushes, confessions, heartbreaks, and their own personal goals. Unlike typical dating shows that thrive on drama, I can read.
I can read.
Mind you, I wrote this myself.
Yeah, this is not even the first time you've said these words in your brain.
Oh my god, okay. Unlike typical dating shows that thrive on drama, The Boyfriend offers a refreshing perspective on the line between romance and friendship, offering visibility for LGBTQ+ relationships in an area where such representation is still rare. The cast members are Shun, a 23-year-old artist, Taeyun, a 34-year-old designer from Korea, Lusak, a 36-year-old go-go dancer, Ikkyo, a 22-year-old food service worker, Genshi, a 34-year-old hair and makeup designer from Taiwan, Dai, a 22-year-old university student, Alan, a 29-year-old IT employee from Brazil, Kazuto, a 27-year-old chef, and then Ryota, a 28-year-old model and barista. So, if you guys haven't watched The Boyfriend, you are somehow even later than I was. Because I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, I think it came out in 2022, 2023. Someone fact check me. I'm not sure. Wow, I should know, but...
2024.
Oh my god, it hasn't been 2 years. I'm not that late. You guys on TikTok had me feeling like this shit came out in 2022. I'm not gonna lie.
It was the summer of 2024. You're 6 months... Oh, it's April.
It hasn't even been a year.
It hasn't even been a year.
See, you guys need to stop guilt tripping me, okay? I'm not that late. It is shocking, though, that it took me almost a year to find a queer dating show, considering I literally only mainly do queer, stuff. But, it's okay. It's okay. So... that is what The Boyfriend is. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. I think if I was to give the show a rating, I legitimately would give it a 10 out of 10. It was such a nice, refreshing show. I think for me, the, thing that got me the most was just I wasn't prepared to actually like reality TV. And it actually made me like reality TV. Recently I've been watching Love is Blind. I've been watching both the US and the Japan versions, and I've also been watching Terrace House, and it's I wouldn't have ever done that if I hadn't watched The Boyfriend first, so props to The Boyfriend for opening my eyes, and yes, I do see the bajillion comments telling me to watch His Man. Maybe. I've heard that season 1 is traumatic, and I've heard that season 2 has one wholesome couple. So I don't know how
Only
I feel
one
about
out of how many?
I have no clue how his men work. So I'm assuming there's at least like 6. That's like minimum for a dating show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like to be like diverse. I don't know. Well, that's just the rumors though. But I definitely have heard that show and his man and the boyfriend gets compared a lot because they're both queer Asian dating shows. But you know, I guess you pick which one you like the most. But with Mickey, so first thing that I wanted to talk about is what was our original like first impressions of the cast when they were introduced, and like did anyone stand out immediately?
When I first saw Kazuto, my heart stopped.
I really feel like you are playing with me right now, and I don't appreciate it.
I felt like I had seen God when I saw Kazuto. Okay. No, I do like him, but so does everybody else. Like, oh my God, I feel like, yeah.
Everyone loves
my first impression, I liked Dai, but he was like the first one in the house, so like he was like the main character to me. Oh my God, Usak and Alan, those are my guys. They're my best friends. I love them. Oh my God, Genshi, love him. Yeah, I think the only person who I like genuinely, okay, not even genuinely disliked, like I still liked them, like just like the person I liked the least, Ryota.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, he got on my nerves, and then Shun, that's my baby.
The eye roll. The eye roll.
Yeah, I just sometimes he was stressing me out. Like I love him, but also I hate him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like, when I first saw all the boys, obviously, if you've watched the show, we get 2 of the members later on. We don't get everyone off rip, which is nice. Actually, we get 3 of the members later on. They don't all join.
They started popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And leaving.
Popping up and leaving. That's the thing that got me. When people started to leave, I was like, wait, no, come back. But I would say that Taeyeon, from the first moment I laid eyes on him, favorite. Like, I love him so much, and it was really sad that like he didn't really get any sort of like romantic attention. But taking a step back from it, after the show, him and Genshi are like really close friends, and he seems to have grown a lot and gotten more comfortable with his sexuality, especially after the show. So you know what, it was good for him regardless whether or not he got a partner, right? But I would definitely say he left like he stood out immediately for me because I just really loved him. I loved his hair, I loved his cute little mannerisms. There's like a moment, I think it's when Ryota and Genshi first came back from the coffee truck and they were saying how much they made, and he has a habit of straightening his posture completely, putting his hands directly in front of his face and clapping, and it's the cutest thing ever. I don't know why, I love him so much. And I would agree, like, all of the boys, I think this is the like first time I've ever watched a male dominated like show and didn't hate a man. Like, I'm so sorry. There's always that one guy where I'm like, you are such a man. And I didn't get that. So I was like, maybe it's a cultural difference. Like, the men here versus the men in Japan, definitely different cultures, right? But they were all very likable. They were all very respectable. Like, it was like, I don't really hate any of you. I do question some of y'all's actions. That part. But it's okay. I don't have to agree with you with everything. My first impression, though, I really did think that Dai and Alan were both fuckboys.
Because they knew each other and they had like talked about how they hooked up that one time. Yeah. So I was like...
But I was also questioning that because I was like, Dai's 22, you're 29. Yeah. When did you hook up? Yeah. Like, has it been in the past 2 years? Yeah. Past 3, I'll give it to you, right? I'll be like, okay, it's borderline, but okay. Any younger.
That's the other thing with this show. Like, there was like, the age range was like 22 to like 36, but like, the 36-year-olds weren't really trying to mess with like the 22-year-olds or anything. So I like that there wasn't like any like blatant like power imbalances or between like the friendships or the relationships.
But we also like, I'm always like, I guess, hesitant. Like, obviously my opinion is my opinion, right? But then sometimes I'm like, maybe the age gap doesn't matter. Yeah. Like maybe, like, I don't know though, because after watching Love is Blind Japan, I do think they do consider age a lot. Because it's been brought up a lot. So I was like, sometimes I'm like in some cultures, age gaps don't matter to a certain extent. So I was like, maybe it's not weird, 22, 29. But I was like, they didn't hook up when Dai was 22, right? Like, it's been it's been a while. Like, that was, I was thinking about that. But I was like, it doesn't matter. I hope. The thing, though, speaking of age gaps, is Shun did have an older boyfriend.
Yes.
When he was young. And I was like,
old. Not very old, but like
he was too old for the age that Shun was.
Yes, too old.
That's what I was. And we learned while they were talking that out of his relationships, he only had one that he is okay thinking about. Basically, like the others, he would prefer to forget it. So obviously, it did not go well. I was like, well, you got another ding on there, but. Yeah, I'm warning, neurodivergent hosts, both of us. This is gonna derail, but put us on distractible at this point. But yeah, how did you feel about like the show's tone and pacing compared to like Western reality? You watch more Western reality than I have.
The tone, 10 times better. Like the best example of like an American show that I think has the same vibe is The Golden Bachelor. The Golden Bachelorette, actually, because that has more like men in it, just like, and it's men becoming friends, but they're like old men, so that's what makes them like kind of a little bit wholesome. But like for these guys on The Boyfriend, they were just like really chill. Like the fact that there was no drama between Dai, Shun, and Alan because of Dai and Alan's history. Amazing! I was expecting that to be like a plot line, and it simply wasn't. They were just good friends. No, like there wasn't any drama, and like that's the thing. I think the drama was very personal, not like superficial or like you said this about me, I don't like that, or so and so isn't here for the right reasons. So yeah, I think that aspect makes it like feel more realistic and like less like it's a scripted. Less like it feels scripted. Like it didn't feel scripted ever. It just felt like really chill. Like, and that's like the most drama was Shun and his emotions.
Literally.
But like you can't even call that drama because that's his emotion.
Yeah,
like that's just how he feels.
Yeah.
But like that was the thing that was like the most engaging to me. So for it to be like more of like an emotional driven show instead of like a drama show, I liked it.
Yeah. I definitely think like it was just refreshing. I think, like, my thing is, I don't like toxic, like, behavior, and I don't like aggressive behavior either, which is why I never really watched reality TV, because I'm gonna be honest, y'all, the stereotypical reality TV that comes into my mind is, like, Housewives or like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm just hearing people yell at each other all the time. It's like, I don't really want to watch something like that. Literally. I don't like, it's funny when it's taken out of context and made into memes or whatever, but I don't want to spend like 20 hours of my life just watching people get stressed out. I'm stressed out enough. So that's the reason, like, I never was like, I don't really want to get into it. But like watching The Boyfriend, I will wholeheartedly admit I only watched it because it was queer people. And I was like, I have to see for the culture what's going on, right? And I think like the pace of the show was very slow and natural. Like I was watching A Story Worth Telling. If you watch my content and you don't know A Story Worth Telling, you should definitely go check out their channel. But they had mentioned this as well. Like they were like, oh, we're 4 episodes in, we haven't had a single kiss. And I was like, that's also
like the lead up to the kiss,
so much tension.
I think they like kissed like 3 times in the show as a whole.
Yeah,
like that like threw me off a little bit, but like in a good way, because like that just makes it like more like it's like it was such a good slow burn. Oh
yeah, God. And it also is like, well, it's nice to like not necessarily like shaming one side or the other. Like if you move fast, that's not bad. If you move slow, that's not bad, right? But it's nice to see like a genuine relationship where it's not necessarily like immediately about sex, right? Like I think like sure, maybe if we had more couples, because there was a lot of like one-sidedness with this show. Maybe if we had more couples, we would have gotten to a kiss faster. But you know, like that's not like necessarily what's important. And the panel judges also mentioned that it's a story about romance and it is a dating show, but it's also friendship and like each of their personal goals. Like Dai said that he came into the show wanting to have a boyfriend, right? But Ryota, when he came in, one of his things that he said he wanted to work on is when he has like a crush on someone or when he likes something, if like something else gets in the way, he's quick to like back down, and he wanted to work on that. So it's like,
oh, he did.
Oh, he definitely did.
When I tell you he did not back down, oh my god.
Never back down, never what? He took it a little too far.
He said, until you say no explicitly, until you stop sugarcoating this, I'm gonna keep pursuing you.
Yeah. Kazuto, he had a little bit of an issue of not being the harshest. He could have been a little...
And that's the thing. He could have been an asshole. I walked into the show. 6 out of the 8 other guys here are in love with me. I get to pick. I would be an asshole. Like, I'm so sorry.
He could have been a little bit more concrete, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's these people where I feel like he genuinely was torn between Usopp and Alan, right? Yeah. But I don't feel like Ryota was ever in the equation.
Never an
so
option.
With him, he could have blatantly been like, I'm not interested in you.
It's never gonna be you. Give up.
No,
not like that. Sorry. And I feel bad because let me just say, I don't hate Ryota, okay? He's actually really chill, really cool. He was very fun to watch. It's just, I related to him.
Oh
no! By projecting.
Oh my god. I kind of feel that way too, though, because I was very much relating to Shun. Mainly because a lot of what he was talking about in the beginning that kind of explains his behavior is kind of going through a lot of like mental health issues that he had to work with, and like having negative experiences with his past romantic relationships, not necessarily having like a positive like role model of like what a good like family or relationship or like even like friends hypothetically would be, because he grew up kind of like in a situation that's different and non-traditional compared to the average person, right? So I related to him on that part, especially with like his reactions. And he said certain things that bother me, other people will laugh at it. They won't take it like seriously. And I related to that because like it's like little things sometimes that's just like it's a product of who you are. It might bother you if I like, I don't know, like hug you every single day, and one day I don't hug you, but then it like might bother you, and you never tell me. Yeah. Like I wouldn't know that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just like little stuff like that where it's like it could be a big deal for someone, and like the other person wouldn't notice it, or they'll be like, oh, that's not a big deal, like, but it matters to the other person, right? And so it's like, yeah, I saw a lot of people, especially when I went back and I was like kind of trying to see what people's reactions were when the show was actually airing, because it aired an episode at a time. It didn't just drop all of them, right? A lot of people did react negatively to Shun at first, which makes sense, but also I think like I understand where people were coming from being annoyed with him, because even I was annoyed at some point.
It wasn't even like annoyed that he was like
it was confused.
His emotions. I was so confused. I did not know what was happening. And for the fact that he also didn't know what was happening, obviously, oh my god.
We all were confused. There was never a point where I was like, I don't like Shun.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I saw myself in him and I related to him a little bit. There was definitely moments where I was like, oh, baby. Especially especially with that whole misunderstanding of does he want to be friends or does he not? I don't know if that was a mistranslation, y'all.
Like, so confused. Because, like, they would get friend zoned often, but then, like, continue romantic relationships.
I feel like either it was a mistranslation or that means something differently over there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if I go up to you and I say, I think we should go back to being friends, that's essentially me cutting off the romantic part. If we were Sims, the bar would disappear. Like, but then for this show, there's like 3 people that happens to, and then they still proceed to have a romantic relationship after the fact.
Right. It is confusing.
Like, I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, I will defend and protect Shun with my life. Love him. See myself in him. I'm happy he's doing well. How did it feel watching a show that focuses primarily on queer relationships in Japan? And what did you think of the way like the show navigates topics like coming out, accepting yourself, those types of things?
Can you repeat the first part of that question?
Yes. How did it feel watching a show that focused primarily on queer relationships in Japan?
I felt like it was cool to see. I am not a man. I am gay. I'm not a gay man.
Thanks. Glad we cleared that up.
I'm not a gay Japanese man, so I was like thinking I'm not gonna relate to any of these men, but like I did. That was nice to know. And then they were all like they were very. I don't like men, but I liked them. They were very nice, very respectful. Learning more about the culture, I think, was really cool. Like them cooking together. I liked seeing them cook together.
That's nice.
Kazuto being a chef was awesome. I'm in love with him. I need to tell him every chance I get. Sorry. But yeah, and then like the coming out aspect of it, because it was like Taeyeon who hadn't come out yet. Yeah, like hearing everyone else's stories and like giving him support, and like he was one of the older men in the group. It was nice to see like the younger people being like, you got this, like believe in yourself, like your family loves you. But also I feel like someone did have a bad experience. I don't remember who it was though.
I do remember someone, like their parents had a negative reaction, but it seems like they still have a relationship. Yes. Which is nice. Yeah. It could be better, but it could be worse.
Yeah. So, it could be worse.
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of have a better understanding of Japanese culture just because I've been watching Asian media since I was like 12. So culture-wise, I would say the biggest shock is just learning like how like life in Japan is like realistically for a queer person, right? I've never like, even though I've watched Japanese media, a lot of my media that I've watched from them still has been straight. So I didn't really get a lot of queerness, right? I think it's very good that they have a show like this. I feel like probably every single person that's talked about The Boyfriend has probably said this, including the cast members. But in places that don't have representation, almost any form of representation is good representation. Just like getting yourself out there. But like, especially considering the fact that the cast was 9 genuinely decent queer men, because I don't know how it is over there, but in America, gay people, man, like, you don't have to be a man or a woman. It's toxic over here, man. The ghosting, the abuse, the power dynamics within the own gender, like, it's just like, you don't even have to like I say I hate men all the time, and I will stand by that statement. But if there's any man out here that I do like, it's usually a person of color or a queer person. If there's anyone that like I can relate to and I consider a genuinely nice person that feels safe, that's usually one of their identities, right? And so like I've just noticed that that's the people I'm like safe around. That's the people I want to be around. That's the people like that I get jiggy with. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But it was just really nice to see that representation. And it was so nice to not get traumatized. Because as a Black queer person, I just see so much trauma. Like, whether it's a Black show and like police brutality is shown in it, slavery is shown in it, like all of our representation in the media is us getting trauma, right? And it's just like, it would be nice for someone to make a show that is Black focused, that is not traumatizing for once. And that's why I think a lot of people were drawn to shows like Heartstopper, for example, where it's like, sure, they tackle like mental health and like stuff like that, but it's like they did it in a healthy way, where like as healthy as you can get with like stuff like that. So I think that is really nice, because I don't think there's anything in The Boyfriend that made the queer community look bad. I think that's like what I was trying to get. Like my roundabout way of saying I don't think The Boyfriend crushing on her right now. Tara, right?
Yeah, Tara Jones, my beloved.
For everyone who's actually listening to this as a podcast, we have Tara on the phone.
See?
Yeah. Tara's on the phone.
Yeah, she's my Netflix profile picture.
Yeah. I also really liked, like, to mention a few moments that happened in the show. I really liked when Kazuto and Ryota were having a talk. And he was like, yeah, I feel like everyone in our community has questioned, like, why were they born this way? I really liked that, because I kind of think, like, obviously everyone's experience with like queerness and like accepting their identity is going to be different, because it depends on you as a person and your environment. I kind of knew since I was 13 that I was like queer in some space. I labeled myself as pansexual and ran with it for about 8 years before I realized, hey, no, you got it wrong. You're a lesbian. But I never, which is interesting, I never had a moment where I was like, why was I born this way? Until I realized that I don't like men at all. And then I started having identity issues where I was like, I'm 21 now. I have accepted that I am queer for the vast majority, longer than I've been alive, basically. Like, not longer, how do you say it? I've accepted myself for being queer more than I haven't. Yeah. That's how I was trying to say that, right? And it was weird going from being so open and so like accepting of my identity to being confused and not knowing what my identity was anymore. So when he said that, I was like, I'm watching this at the right time. Because I was like, I'm watching this newly came out as a lesbian, still kind of struggling with conflict because she's a bitch. And I was like, it's really supporting to like watch that. And then there was also bi representation in the show. Yes. We had 2 bisexuals. Yeah. Wasn't it Dai and Ryota that were, I believe it was them.
It was Dai, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah, I know it was Ryota.
Okay, so I know it was Dai, so it's those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was nice, just like seeing like multiple different identities, and then not even just talking about like gay, bisexual, pansexual, you know. We also had a drag queen on the judge panel. We did! So that was nice too.
And I feel like one of those judges was a lesbian.
We have no clue. We were I wholeheartedly judging because of the hair.
Yeah, like
both of them.
Miss Mama's with like the bowl cut, gay. Sorry.
And if you weren't,
if you're not gay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We just saw the hair.
Yeah, I saw gay, so I said gay.
That's literally how we felt. It was like one of the judges had like a pixie cut, and I was like, wow, she's pretty. And then the other one literally had lesbian hair. Pink like
to orange hair.
Pink to blonde, but then it started to look orangey. Yeah. And then she was always wearing the lesbian colors. And I was like, am I getting punked here?
Are you messing with me?
But meanwhile, they actually come out, hey, the entire panel except for the drag queen is actually straight. I would be like, wow.
I cap, Your Honor.
Got duped. But yeah, I think it's really good representation. I think it would be so helpful if there was like say like a really young kid or a teenager and they're like really struggling, like really anyone. Yeah. But especially when you're going through puberty and your hormones are just like yelling at you and being mean, it would be so nice to watch a show like The Boyfriend and watch people with common sense actually talk about their experience instead of like the toxic side of that. Where we're not gonna get into the toxic side of that. We'll be here all day, but it was just nice. It was like a breath of fresh air. So yeah. Did you notice any cultural differences in how like they dated, how they like expressed affection, stuff like that? Two singles talking about that, by the way.
Like, I don't fucking know.
And I will say, before Mickey answers this question, whenever I'm with Mickey, my voice changes.
Oh, T?
You don't know because I sound the same with you all the time. Yeah. But it does. It changes. I can tell. Oh. I don't do it on purpose, obviously. But yeah. Continue.
Yeah. I honestly, if anything, I liked the pace they went at. That's me. Like, they moved slow. I appreciate that. And I feel like they truly got to know each other. And like I said, whoa.
It's okay.
Slow burn? Yeah. The slow burn and like the lead up to like Diane and Sean's first kiss. Insane. Amazing. When I tell you, it genuinely moved me. Like, I haven't felt that since that one scene in Glee. So,
oh my god!
Like, you moved me, Kurt. That moved me. So, like, yeah, I think I just liked the pace they went at. They truly got to know each other. And even Kazuto and Alan, like, their situationship was really, like, not toxic at all. They just, like, were confusing me a little bit. So, yeah.
A little bit. I think the thing that I appreciate about them, that's, I think, a cultural difference, is how respectful they are. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. We're bitches over here, bro. Yeah. Like, whether it's emotionally unavailable, like, unintelligent, like, there's always a barrier in communication. Like, and they did have some communication issues, but it's not nearly as bad as, like, it is over here. And obviously, we only saw them for a month. So it's, like, only but so much can happen in a month for you to miscommunicate about. But, like, just the way that they talk to each other is so sweet. It was always, like, a deep conversation, too.
Also, like, their friendship. So, like, the friendship bond that happened on this show.
Peak.
Amazing. Because I'm sorry, we're all in love with Kazuto, but I'm also your best friend? Okay. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Alan and Usak have been making dance TikToks together. So cute! They're so cute! Oh my god. Although I will admit, when I went down the TikTok rabbit hole to follow all the boys, I did not expect to see Genshi and Alan trading outfits, okay? My brain wasn't ready for that one.
It ain't have to be cool.
It was very cute, though. Not High School Musical. Oh my god. Exposing. Okay. Who was your favorite pairing or romantic connection on the show and why? I feel like I know it's an obvious answer, but like actually there's a lot. See, there's 9 people.
I can't call it my favorite romantic connection because it legit could not become romantic. But whoa. Kazuto and Usak, them. I was rooting for them so bad, and then Usak left. Like, because they were like the misconnections, not even like miscommunication. Like, they just were never in the house at the same time. And like, once they were in the house at the same time, Usak was like, I have to go, bye, I'm gonna head out. So I was like,
It makes you wonder what would happen if he stayed the entire time.
Yes, that's why I'm obsessed with them. Cause they're a good what if. I mean, not really, because they if they wanted to get together after the show, they could have.
Well, who knows? It has not been a year yet, and what we have learned from the show is Kazuto takes everything very slowly. Mm-hmm. So there's still potential. Yeah. I'll stay delusional.
I can stay delusional about it. That's the beauty of it.
I'll give up in 5 years if they're not together in 5 years, I'll be like, okay, maybe this won't happen.
Another missed opportunity, Genshi and Ryota. I feel like if Ryota just like locked in on life for like 5 minutes to realize that Genshi liked him, I feel like he would have been like, okay. But like he found out too late, and Genshi was like, never mind, I don't want you anymore.
It wasn't even I don't want you anymore. It was like you want another man.
I'm not embarrassing myself like this. And that's why I like Genshi. He, at a certain point, he said, I'm not going to keep embarrassing myself. Ryota, he never thought that.
Ryota just kept going.
He never said, let me stop, let me calm down. Maybe he doesn't like me.
I'm not trying to be funny. The second he chose Alan to go on the sleepover date, like, that's where I would have gave up.
I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening now. I understand.
It would have been like, all three of us confessed to you. Yeah. You chose your man. It's done. Not me. I'm done. Like,
but no.
I mean, props to him. He has some guts. He was brave, man. But like, and then he asked him to leave together. I was like,
oh man, when I tell you, like. And that's why I feel like I'm being mean, because I'm calling him dumb. I don't think he's genuinely dumb, but like...
It's not something we would have done.
Yeah. Me personally, after barely having any relationship with this man whatsoever throughout this show, he's actively in a situationship with Alan. I'm not going to ask him to leave with me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'll say my favorite romantic pairing. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm mainstream Daishun. And here's the reason, right? If you were to ask me right after the show ended, I probably like would have struggled a little bit more, right? Because I don't know if I would have picked Dai and Shun, because the way the show ended, they weren't necessarily dating, right? It was just like we like each other and we want to see each other after the show. So it's still like the chance that they wouldn't, right? But after the show, I went and I found their YouTube channel, and y'all, they are so freaking cute. Like, the vlogs that they do, and like the like content that they upload, the little pictures. Like, whenever Shin uploads a picture and it pops up on my Instagram, 9 times out of 10, Dai is either in the background or Dai took the photo. And it's so cute. I'm like, I love that this healthy relationship spawned out of this show. This is so sweet. So I feel like I have to say them because they're on my mind 24/7, you know? But I do constantly think of my babies Kazuto and Usopp. And I'm gonna be honest, Alan, I love you. I was praying for your downfall when Usopp was around.
That's so real. Like, and that the thing is though, I feel like I was never worried that Alan was ever gonna be like unhappy and single. Look at him. So that's why I'm not saying Usopp is like needs a chance or like is charity or anything, but like I just feel like that connection could have been so much stronger. Like,
Usopp is more baby.
Yeah.
You would think that a go-go dancer would have more confidence, but he did not.
Oh my god, I loved him so much.
He was like a little teddy bear.
Like, really.
I loved the little teddy bear. They were both teddy bears, but Alan and Usopp were 2 different teddy bears.
Yeah, like, if it was like we were bears, Alan is like brown bear or Grizz. and
he's ice bear.
Ice bear.
He's ice bear. Like, it's okay. I wanted to like give him a hug though, although he was pissing me off with that fucking chicken, bro. It's just
like, oh my god, that was so funny. That was the biggest drama. That was true drama.
The biggest drama in the house was
the chicken costs too much. The chicken that you keep blending, it costs too much. And it was like, Dai, like, I really respect you for coming to me and talking to me about the chicken.
The oldest and the youngest person in the house.
So funny.
And they argued about chicken.
And the cost of chicken, how like your chicken's too expensive. And he was like, yeah, okay, I can give up the chicken. You know why? Because he knew I'm leaving in 2 days.
Oh my god, you're right!
Like, the reason why he didn't fight diet about this chicken. He's like, okay, yeah, it's not.
I can lose the diet for 2 days.
Yeah, I can not eat chicken, blended up chicken. Also, gross.
I don't know how he did it.
Disgusting.
I don't know how he did that. He's very brave. Everyone in this show is very brave, is what we're learning. Because,
I also liked the coffee truck aspect of it and how they would like pick who they got to work with. Because sometimes it's like, oh, Shun didn't pick Dai. What's the tea? And then Shun was like, oh, I just didn't want to talk to you that day. Or it's like, oh, I knew you worked yesterday, so I didn't pick you. The miscommunication of the coffee truck selection thing, that was good.
Kazuto, though, I appreciate the fact that
they haven't been working.
They did not give 2 flying fucks about whether or not Kazuto had worked the day before or not. They continuously picked him.
I'm gonna pick Kazuto. I'm sure, like, I know it was because they all had a crush on him, but also, like, because, like, he was a chef, so he could, like, work in that environment, maybe? Like,
no, a chef in coffee is like...
But, like, they have a man working like a dog day and night.
He was a
poster coffee
boy.
from a pot none of you want to touch. Like...
That's so funny. Oh my god. Anyways.
But yeah. Oh, and then, oh my god, you know what we haven't talked about?
What?
Ikkyo.
Ikkyo!
I'm so sorry to this man. What was the point of him being there?
No, okay, here's the thing.
He showed up too late.
I do think he didn't have enough time, right? Well, but if you think about it, I think he had 2 weeks, so he actually had as much time as Usopp had.
Yeah.
But it's just...
But Usopp was in the getting to know you period. By the time Ikkyo got there, everybody knew each other, and they were, like, already paired off. So he was trying to slide it on Dai, but Dai was like, I've been committed to Shun since before I even met him.
Yeah. He chose 2 very... interesting people to have a crush on, right? He chose... His first option was literally Troy Bolton. Okay? Everyone freaking wanted Kazuto. And so
who's Troy Bolton? Who's he gonna be?
He chose the most popular boy at school.
Yeah.
And then his second option was a committed married man. He chose freaking Gomez
Adams.
He chose Troy Bolton and Gomez. And I was like, these are not the 2 decisions. Like, I really genuinely think if he would have fallen for, like, Taeyun,
could have been great.
We could have had something. Like, if he chose someone that wasn't, like, already kind of Genchi. In a mess with everyone else. Even Genchi. Now, can I see them? Alan.
Sorry.
Wait, I don't know.
And then that leaves Kazuto for Usopp.
You just want to ship. You just want to ship.
Yeah.
No, I will be honest. If we had to pair up all the boys, it's impossible. Someone's going to have to be in the threesome. But I think my golden pairings...
I whispered that, but Alan, Kazuto, and Usopp would be my threesome that I would select.
They can have their own little thing going on, right? I feel like Alan would balance the 2 little quiet ones out.
Alan's the fun one.
I think Ryota and Genchi, even though I feel like Genchi low-key deserves a little bit better than that.
He does,
But I can't... knowing that Taeyun and Genchi are basically to each other what me and Mickey are to each other, I can't ship them together. Yeah. So sorry. No. And then Dai and Shun, definitely, right? Yeah, so that leaves Taeyun with Ikkyo. They would have been cute.
Wasn't Ikkyo like 22 and Taeyun was like 34?
Okay, well, I'm gonna let the age gap slide on that one. Mainly because...
Ikkyo is tall.
His physique, and he's an adult. Yeah. If he was 20, oh, hell no. No. Because as a 20-year-old, I don't care that you're not a teenager anymore or whatever. Like, there's still some mental...
Like every 6 months, I feel like the person I was 6 months before is the dumbest person I've ever heard of.
Literally. I feel like once you get past the uni age, then I'm like, okay. You do whatever. You've had a solid couple of years in adulthood of making your own decisions. Go ahead. That's where I stopped judging age gaps. Really, it's like 22. Like if I see a 20-year-old with like a 26-year-old, I'm gonna be looking at them funny a little bit. But I'm gonna be like, it's fine. It's not my life. That's just me, though. That's because me personally, I would feel uncomfortable dating a 26-year-old. So that's me projecting.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but
let me
to a certain extent. It depends on the people. It really depends on the people.
It really does.
It really needs to be the right person.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely my favorite pairing. What was your favorite and least favorite moment from season 1?
Ooh, my favorite moment.
When Zachy sniffled in your face?
No, ooh, my favorite moment. Oh my god. And I hate to say this, when Usak left, but only because he left like all those drawings of all the guys. So like when he left, you realize like, oh, when they would like have shots of him drawing on his iPad and stuff, he was drawing everybody because he was like doing a goodbye gift, and he was like, yeah. And then when Kazuto made breakfast for everybody, but then like he left before like I don't know, like those little moments of like the guys being just like really nice and generous and like friendly and like being friends. And my least favorite moment, probably when Ryota asked Kazuto to leave with him.
It was a lot of secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, I was just like, because after a certain point I was like, come on, man. Like, why are you, like, by this point I think you have like a degradation kink or something. Okay, I can't say that. That's not nice. But like, do you like the rejection? Like,
even if he does, we don't kink shame over here.
I'm not doing it. Just let me know so I don't judge you for these bad decisions.
No, but could you imagine that if anyone out there, people who do have degradation kinks, you're not going out here and like
that's not how you do it.
That's not how you get it. Like,
right? Like you don't go to people who genuinely don't like you, right? You're going to people because that's like, not. You're a little pig, aren't you? Sorry, I need to stop.
No. We have raised you on Wattpad and AO3. You know the words to use. Come on, man. Lord, media training. I'm kidding, but yeah, that was definitely a time, y'all.
Once again, no hate to this man.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment, and once again, I'm about to sound like a basic person, but I really liked when Dai and Shun finally kissed. We ignore everything that happened after that first kiss, okay? That's a completely separate entity at this point. I think it was really nice because of the environment they were in. They had spent the entire evening together. They went on the sleepover date. They originally were in 2 beds that were even worse than Kazuto and Alan's situation. They couldn't push those beds together. Yeah. And like Shun was I think what it is it made me happy that Shun was the one that got out of his bed to get into Dai's bed. And it was obvious Dai was not going to kiss him. Like, he was fighting the voices in his head like a mug. He was, like, breathing heavy. He was looking around.
Tossing
like,
and turning.
He couldn't get to sleep. And, like, when he sat up and then Shun was like, let me get I was like, you know what? All the stress that you put me through up until this point is forgiven, Buki. Because good job. Good job. It does make me wonder, though. Because I haven't watched His Man. But I have seen a couple from His Man. I don't know if it's season 1 or season 2. They said that their first kiss was not the first kiss that the show showed. They kissed in a bathroom. And it never aired. So the first kiss on the show was so much later than what their actual first kiss was. It's making me wonder, was there anything like that developed their relationship that like we didn't see, which is like to a certain extent, man, we're peering into your lives, we don't need to know everything, right? But it does like for context, you know, like Taeyeon posted a lot of like little clips on his social media showing like behind the scenes of like them just hanging out and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we missed of like their day-to-day life of them just like chilling together and stuff, you know. So I think that's definitely my favorite moment. My least favorite, it gets a little bit harder. Girl. No, because I'm debating between 2. I'm debating between... I've decided.
Okay.
Just thinking about saying it out loud. My least favorite moment is Alan and Kazuto's date. I was, like, the first one. I was uncomfortable the entire time. I think, though, what it is I'm used to being in a situation where, like, I'm uncomfortable with the person I'm with, and I'm trying to, like please them so that they're having a good time, so that, like, they don't get mad or upset or whatever, right? And that's what the situation felt like to me. But I'm not saying that's what happened, because obviously they're friends, and, like, if you got uncomfortable around somebody, you wouldn't necessarily want to be around them anymore, especially after the show, and they're still talking after the show, right? But I'm saying when I was watching it, I felt uncomfortable watching Kazuto with Alan that first night. It felt like obviously we know they're on two different spectrums. Kazuto's slower, Alan's more fast-paced, right? But the constant, like, physical affection when Kazuto was not at that point was so hard to watch. I was like, oh no. And I knew that he wasn't on the same wavelength, because in the showers, in the baths, when they were, like, bathing together, Alan was like, oh, like, you want to wash each other. And Kazuto did that little cute, like, you know that, like, yeah. Oh, you're so silly.
You're so funny for saying that. No.
And then, like, with the massage, I was like, oh my god. It was just very awkward. It was very awkward. So I feel like if I had to pick a least favorite, I picked that. Not because it's, like, a bad moment, but because that was the hardest scene for me to get through.
Because once Kazuto told Alan, like, hey, that's, like, just not where I'm at right now, Alan stopped.
Yeah. Like, so, Alan's not creepy. Alan's not a bad guy. It was just a very awkward thing to watch because they were on different spectrums and didn't talk about it. So Alan was, like, trying really hard, and Kazuto wanted him to, like, chill.
Savannah, slow down.
Savannah, slow down. Please. Okay. Is there anything that you wish the show had done differently?
I feel like they should have continued, like, the mailbox thing with, like, writing letters in the mailbox. I really liked when that was, like, in the first episode, and people were like, oh, then she was like, I think Fredo wrote that letter to me. No, he didn't. But that's okay. Like, I like...
So dramatic.
The miscommunication of that was, like, really cool. And, like, when Sean was, like, not ghosting Dai, but, like, being, like, giving Dai the silent treatment, I feel like it would have been really cool to see, like, Dai write a letter to Sean or something. And, like, if the mailbox were used more, maybe he would have done that, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it, really, though. Like, I think... Or I also wanted them to go out more. When they went out to the Go-Go Club, but it was just for Usopp to be, like, introduced, I feel like they could have gone out more. That would have been fun to see.
Yeah. So I'm voting that this is probably because of budget. So I'm hoping season 2, you know, maybe this will happen. But I agree. My only thing was I wanted them to go out more. Now, obviously, there was 2 chances for a date, and then there was one time where they went out for, like, a wish or whatever, but Shun got it and didn't wish for anything. So we didn't even know what would happen there.
Yeah.
But I think the tricky part is you do want them to go out more, but they didn't choose each other. If Dai and Shun hadn't been locked in the beginning when the first date rolled around, we wouldn't have gotten anyone. Yeah. Because they were the only couple.
Yeah.
And then the second time, it was only... Actually, there was 3. The second time they did it, it was only Alan and Kazuto. The third time they did it, we got Kazuto and Alan, and we got Dai and Shun.
Did we get Ryota and Genshi?
We also got Ryota and Genshi. We got 3 couples at the end there.
Yeah.
Which was nice because then you got different scenes from different environments. Yeah. But the first 2 times, no one picked each other than the 2 solid couples that were going on at the time, right? Yeah. And then the second time, Dai and Shun were fighting. So it was just like, well, okay. So I do think date-wise, even though that is my only thing, I do feel like they tried. Like, they had 3 times.
Yeah.
They just weren't on the same, like, let's pick each other. And if I was Taeyeon, being so serious. I would have went up to Genchi and I would have been like,
I feel like there should have been like friendship dates.
Yeah, I would have been like, I'm gonna pick you next time.
Like, I feel like they could have done like 3-on-1s or sorry.
Wait.
I feel like they could have done like friend dates or like, okay, while everyone else is on their dates, everybody else who like didn't get picked to do anything, let's hang out at this place. Let's go get dinner. Let's go to this club or something. Like,
yeah, like when they went on the picnic.
Like, did Taeyong ever leave the house other than to work at the coffee cart? Like that stuff like that. Like I want to make sure everyone's having a good time.
The picnic date was so cute.
Yes, that was so fun.
So cute. So yeah, maybe they're just all homebodies, including the go-go dancer.
Yeah.
Man, if I was Kazuto, I wouldn't want to leave the house either.
I feel like that's another thing. I would want to see like maybe like a game night. Like I think they did do something like that at one point.
I think.
But like I want to see them more at like, if they do stay in the house, like what are they doing to like, how do they become friends? I want to see the friendship develop as where
Ryota, Genchi, and Shun being the trio.
How did that happen? Let me know. Tell me. Show me.
All of a sudden they were just popped up. I think conclusion is there's a lot of behind the scenes we didn't see.
Yeah.
So it didn't make anything confusing, but it was also like, oh, I kind of want to see that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if they did, like, a special episode, like, after the fact.
Like
episode 10.
Behind the scenes. These are, like, a friendship. Because so many, at the end, they're all, like, I've developed such amazing friends. And we, like, see their friendships develop. But, like, how did the friendships, like, who's the closest with each other? Like, how does Ikkyo feel about Taeyong? Like, stuff like that. Like, even if, like,
And, like, I wouldn't have ever realized how close Taeyeon and Genchi were.
Yeah.
Like, we see them interact a couple of times, but, like, you don't really see how close they are until Genchi leaves, and, like, Genchi and Taeyeon were, like, bawling their eyes out. Like, you didn't see that much, and then obviously after the fact, they did a little interview, and they both mentioned each other, like, we are very close friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that, like, super closeness. If anything, I thought that Genchi and Dai were besties. Like, that's what that looks like. But, you know, or the trio.
Yeah, or the trio.
The little trio, which was so interesting because Genchi liked Ryota and then Ryota liked Shun and Shun liked Dai, but he didn't like Dai, and it's just...
I forgot that Ryota liked Shun.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that brief period?
That was cute for a little bit, and then he was like, okay, let me just be obsessed with Kazuto for the rest of the season.
I think in a different, like, horror timeline.
in a dark reality.
In a dark reality where everything went wrong. Dai and Genchi got together, or Dai and Ikkyo got together, Shun and Ryota got together, Usagi and Allen got together, like everyone went opposite. Kazuto is with Taeyeon or something.
Taeyeon did like Kazuto. That's the thing. Like I feel like he is like the best example of what does this show look like if you're not in a relationship with somebody, because I feel like they didn't really like try to showcase that. Like, because Taeyeon had a crush on Kazuto, but, like, he was not going for it in the same way, like, Ryota was.
Yeah.
So I feel like
he also liked Usopp.
Yeah, he also...
I remember that. You can't get away with it, Taeyeon. I remember that.
Like, I wanted to see more of him just from, like, the platonic standpoint of the show, I guess. Because he was, like... I feel like he was the one making the most friends, because he was not dating anybody. Or in a love triangle or anything like that.
But we love Taeyeon over here.
We do.
Okay. Last 2 questions. We're wrapping up, y'all. If you were one of the housemates, who do you think you would have connected with the most?
I want to say Alan so bad. I want to say that I would have been best friends with Alan. Yeah. And then Mary...
This isn't in the question, but I'm gonna add it anyway. I did think about that. I was like, well, I don't like men, but if I could pick,
if I had to choose like one of them to like I don't think I'm their type.
Oh, definitely not. Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't see a world where Dai or Ryota likes me. Yeah. Like, the bisexuality is not saving me at all. Like, I just don't. Yeah. They're giving bestie, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'd want to be Kazuto. I feel like that would be great.
That would be nice. but then it would be overwhelming. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
very
know.
Stressful. I can't handle that.
I can really understand one person liking me as a friend. I don't think I can handle 3 or 4 people liking me romantically. That would be a lot. I'd be like, did someone drug
telling
you?
me the same night, back to back.
Back to back. Confessing at
Who's
dinner.
like, I liked you. Peace out. Alan, I like you. I'm gonna tell the whole table I like you. Guys, I like Kazuto. Alan scares me, but also I love him.
Yeah, he was definitely like a different personality. They needed that though.
Yeah.
All of them were a little too kind of like closed in.
He was furthering the plot.
Yeah, he forced them to like kind of get a little looser. So that was nice. I think if I was the housemate, I think I would connect the most with Dai. I have a very similar personality to Dai, which is funny because my personality is close to Dai, but my background and kind of like experiences are closer to Shun. I'm their love child. I don't know. Like, I'm a mixture of both of them. I see myself in both of them. But I do think, like, personality-wise, I act like Dai, so I think to a certain extent we have similar interests, so we would be besties. I think if, like, there was, like, a pick your favorite housemate. I have been making jokes since we watched this show that I will gladly be in a lavender marriage with Tan, bruh. Hey, man, we don't have a single string of attraction between the two of us, but it's okay. It's okay. You can do your thing, I can do my thing. We both come home, and we gossip. Perfect.
I want to be best friends with Genshi also. He'd do my makeup, and I think that would be really fun.
That would be really fun. I think I would stress him out. Mm-hmm. But it would be really fun. Oh my god. Last question. Are you ready?
Okay, hold on.
Gotta gather yourself. Deep breath. We got this. We're not gonna cry. Okay. I might cry.
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm ready.
Season 2 is coming.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
The mess. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
Mess. I'm looking forward to, like, just our new friends. I'm looking forward to, like, who they're gonna have. What they're gonna be like, the new dynamics. Are there gonna be, like, love triangles? Are they gonna kiss in the first episode? Like, I want to see just, like...
Could you imagine if it's completely different?
Like, what if it is completely different, though? That's exciting, but also
because it changes
scary.
depending on the people that come.
Yeah, like, exactly.
It's like, first episode, off rip, there might be a guy that knocks on the door and is like, hey, can I sleep with you tonight?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna stare at the freaking door like...
Gagged.
Excuse me? They haven't released any sort of information about season 2, y'all. They've only just said it's happening. So what I'm assuming is when they released, hey, it's happening, that happened, I believe, in December. Mm-hmm. I believe then they went into the casting phase, right? Yeah. So
it's gonna be a little bit, maybe.
I think 2026 maybe is what we can look forward to. Either way, as long as I'm alive and kicking, I will be here and I will be sat. On the topic of queer dating shows, there is a Korean sapphic queer dating show that is coming out called Together to Get Her. They ate with that one. That was cute. Yeah. And so far I've seen that it's coming out on Wave. I'm hoping that I have access to it so that I can watch that because, you know, I gotta show up for the gays and the lesbians. The lesbians don't ever get anything, so I definitely gotta be here. So y'all will see me there. I think with season 2 of The Boyfriend, I'm kind of copying Mickey. I do want to see what's the different dynamics like. Because with different people, you get different personalities, you get different plots. Are they going to keep the, like, same type of idea of having a coffee truck? Or are they going to, like, switch it up? Like, what if there's no coffee truck?
Ooh, what if it's a sandwich shop? What if it's, like, a physical location? What if it's bakery? See, stuff like that. Yeah. That's where I'm excited.
Yeah, so it's like, they might do a coffee truck
like
again.
A clothing store, like a boutique.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, like, something that's, like, portable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They really could do anything with this show. And the host of the show, Yoshimi Tokyu? Yoshimi Tokui? Yoshimi, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your last name. But he is also one of the host judges on Terrace House. So I'm learning his face and his character because of that. And so anything that he does reality TV wise seems to do pretty well. So I have faith in him that season 2 is going to be just as good as season 1. I don't know if all of the judges are going to come back. It would be nice if all of them come back because, you know, familiar faces, especially the drag queen. Please, please.
Bring friends.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the different dynamics. I think it's going to be so fun. I think this time, since I've already mentally confirmed with myself that when the show comes out, I'm going to record my reaction, is going to be interesting because I only posted one TikTok of us watching The Boyfriend, and it was us yelling at the TV because everyone liked Kazuto, and we were stressed. Everyone liked Kazuto, and then I think we got to a point where Ikkyo liked Kazuto, and that's where I started yelling. That was when I got pissed. That's where I was like, "There's no way." Like somehow
he's like. It's the fact that he is perfect that pisses me off.
I understand. Like, that's the thing. I understand why you like him.
Duh. Like, yeah. Obviously, but like everybody really.
I would like Kazuto the Ken doll too. And I don't know if you guys have seen him. Like, you guys need to follow them on social media, bro. Kazuto has bulked up. He has gotten muscle, okay? And he looks so good. He looks so good. I didn't recognize Ikkyo when they had the reunion because he changed his hair. And for some reason, he changed his hair. It changed his face structure. I was like, what happened to you? But everyone looks so good. I think Usok's the only one that looked... Usok, Shun, and Dai look the exact same. Everyone else looks a little different. Genshi dyed his hair blonde, and I was like, what happened? But, you know, yeah, everyone looks good. Everyone's thriving. I'm very attached to my season 1 cast, though. So it makes me wonder how I'm going to feel about my season 2 cast.
And that's the thing, because this is Netflix.
Yes.
Netflix does not do well with, like, reality dating shows. So, like, I'm worried if there's, like, any, like, production interference that might, like, ruin the vibes.
I hope not. I hope that it stays as wholesome and happy as season 1 was, because that was the refreshing part that made me really like the show. Like, obviously, if you've been watching my channel, if you've been listening to me, honestly, if you've heard me yap for an hour now, you know anything that's positive, queer related is my jam. And so it's just like, I don't like being stressed. I don't like being upset. I don't like being like, you know, I will be, because they're emotions. I'll experience them if I have to. But I really love the, like, positive, like, happy feeling. I just like when my people are happy. You know, like, being a Black, Puerto Rican, Native American, gay person, bro, every single one of my minorities suffer on a daily basis. And I'm a woman, so it's just a ding. Ding, 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 ding. So I just love it. I just love it when my people are happy. So I just want everyone to be, like, you know, cordial, happy. You know, we might get one irritating person. I can live through it. I'm currently going through Terrace House, and there's a girl I want to, like, rip. It's okay.
That's what sucks the most, when girls are annoying. Because, like, come on.
It's like, girl, I'm rooting for you. Come on. I'm automatically rooting for you. Don't make me side with a man. Please.
No.
I will do it, though. But, you know, I don't have as much patience for a straight cis man. If you are queer in any way and you're a man, you immediately kind of get a little bit more brownie points for me to tolerate some bullshit. It's like a bullshit meter, right? Yeah. Straight men immediately start at negative 100 of bullshit that I can handle, right? If you are gay, it rises up a little bit. Like, if you're gay or in the LGBT community at all, it rises up a little bit, you know? Then, like, once we become friends, you get to normal level. But it's like, starting off, like, straight cis men have fucked me over so much, and other people in my life, that I'm like, y'all are in the pits of hell until you are cleared, until you're giving clearance to enter the show. But I don't know, not in a mean way. I don't bully men that much. They actually bully me. If you go on my freaking gaming channel, they're bullying me right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Taziki and Santiago. I freaking called you out in an episode you're probably not going to listen to. It's okay. But you know.
Fuck y'all.
Just kidding.
Sorry, never mind. Unfuck.
But yeah, so that's our review on The Boyfriend. I said my rating in the beginning. I give it a 10 out of 10. What was your rating, B?
I also give it a 10 out of 10.
Ooh, our first 10 out of 10 review. Ayy.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'll be back very soon, hopefully, with another lovely review. Probably will be queer, knowing me. But yeah. Fun fact of the night. We tried to record this 3 times.
Yeah.
We were going through it.
Oh my god, I'm so ready for this semester to be done.
Very done. Very burnt out.
The burntest.
And going to go to internship and be more burnt out. But it's okay. Because that's a different type of burnt out. Academic burnout? Lord. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us yap. I hope you guys enjoyed Mickey being on the podcast for the first time. Maybe they'll be back in the future. Oh. And yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Keep it weird.